Now, if you need masculine cards, need to do masculine scrapbook pages, we are here for you. And just in time for Father's Day, we've got a whole collection of items for you.
Right, and it's called the Evanstown Collection. And I so appreciate finding something masculine like this. Sometimes it can be hard to come up with a collection that looks masculine, but this one does that. Plus, it's fun.
It's very fun. In fact, you're looking at, both of us have 2 sons each, so this is really right up our alley.
Yep.
Come play with us.
Come play with us.
Now that we've pulled ourselves together, we're going to show you the Evanstown collection. I'm going to take the For the Guy stamp and set it aside just for now.
Okay.
And we'll show you papers. And paper
towel and dazzles and ribbons. Okay. And we're going to start with papers.
Of course we are. Now this is Evanstown, and no, we don't know anyone named Evan, I'm sorry to say.
Actually,
but
I do, but that's not what we name.
Okay.
My son's middle name. Okay.
Oh, well, okay, it's for her son's middle name. There we go. And they are a double-sided paper pack. Of course we're going to have scrapbook pages. Of course we're going to have cards both on the front and on the back, no additional charge.
Don't those look fun? They just look fun from here.
As a matter of fact, Teresa told me that she is really finding herself going to these papers because of the color combination. They just are so useful. Okay. So you are going to see a very different look from us, and that's what we like to have.
Now my sons would like this right away because there are gears and it sort of looks like circuitry.
Yes, so it works really well for a lot of masculine. And I do like this color combination with the golds, the gray, and the orange. Just really pretty, but we've not stopped doing the multiple images. You can see that there are tiny, tiny squares. Then we've got this
the hexagon,
on top,
of a honeycomb thing going on
and like
there.
You said, the circuitry.
What I do want to point out, when you see it here, you see the arrows, so you're sort of seeing movement. You're seeing direction, arrows everywhere, sort of destination-like. Great for scrapbooking.
Lots of ways. Now here is the next page. There are 12 sheets. They're 80-pound paper, and they are double-sided, so we'll be showing you the second side.
That's just fun.
Here are those squares with just a hint of color in them, and also against the dark brown as the base. Now we've got a larger one. Talk about arrows and fun things in these. It's just a fun all-over print, isn't it? Without being overwhelming. So, and look at this. I love this. Just so fun. Again, the circuitry, the arrows, there are gears, so really keeping this. So if you've got men in your life or boys in your life who love any technology, who love cars.
But also like travel. I mean, it really makes me think of travel, and not only men are into travel, so this is great for families going on trips maybe.
And you can do your arrows going any which way. This would be fun to cut into borders, wouldn't it?
It would. Nice little strips for that.
And then this is a lighter brown. Earlier we had, a lighter gray. Earlier we had the darker gray, so nice. Okay, we're going to flip them and see what we've got. We have an orange, and there's the circuitry down into this as we get in closer. Isn't that fun?
That's just fun and different. You're not going to find this everywhere. So like we said, it can be hard to find masculine images. This just fits the bill perfectly.
And that's in the orange and in the gray, so very fun. Then we have some diamonds in a darker gray. I love that progression of colors. And then look at this, very interesting. It's got the lines on top of it, ghosted back with those arrows. And then we have a yellow, and we've got those modified arrows all the way through.
I love the choices, the darkers, the lights. You've got a nice mix there.
And then we've got this in the orange, so really, really fun. And what are you going to bring in?
Beautiful ribbons as well. You get 36 inches of each. There are 12 ribbons. We're going to start with that real standout, that web design, nice and wide. This makes for really interesting borders, I think. And then there are twine. There are baker's twine. This is a black and a white, and we've got a gray and white. And each one of those are 72 inches, so longer than the rest of the ribbons that are in there. I love this nice kind of a silver gray crepe. There's a great silver glimmer in there for a pop of glitter. You've got a nice wide crepe in that gold or yellow. I love the stitched black. That sort of looks like a roadway to me.
Doesn't it?
That kind of, that's fun. There's also a twill in an orange, so that's picking up on those colors. Another glimmer ribbon in orange. This is kind of we decided it was a ladder ribbon. It's got kind of a ladder effect going on there, and in black, so that'll make for nice accents. And you also got a sheer dot, so that's fun too. Let me see. We have a grosgrain in a bright yellow, really matching those colors. Did I get everything?
I think you might have.
I think so.
Okay. Now I'm going to bring in the scrapbooking Dazzles, and this time, look at this mix of metals. That also works well with masculine. They're on a silver sheet, but gold foiled edges. You can see the bicycle there, and camera, and gears, and wrenches, and all sorts of things.
Filled with fun images. How many are in there? There's a lot of them.
Well, I'll turn it over in a second,
Okay.
but we also have the copper jewel dazzle. So as I said, we're mixing our metals. Here's a close-up so you can really see those images. There are 118 silver dazzles. So adventure awaits. We've got cityscapes. We've got nature, a little bit of that.
Lots of words,
bicycles.
great for journaling or cards.
Let's go, explore. That's where you're getting the travel
Right.
idea. And then the copper, this is 540 of the copper jewel dazzles. And then
Fun.
we also have Evanstown paper toll.
I love those.
Isn't that scooter fun? And a camera, and then again, kind of like a Polaroid, sending greetings from a city.
Fun.
Very fun.
And you've also got extra artwork.
Always.
In specific, we've got these extra little arrows there.
Right. In fact, there's 4 of them, 5 of them. So that is yours, no extra charge. So some fun, nice icons, nice images that are going to go anywhere.
Right.
So now we also have, to go along with our masculine theme, For the Guys stamp.
These are great.
This is got all the words for an amazing father, husband, brother, grandpa. And we've got to a classic. You can see the cars, you can see the gears. There is a map, and you can use that to do a background.
Background or borders. I love the cars.
Happy Father's Day. Thanks for being so wonderful. You've got the compass, the gears, happy birthday, just lots of images.
Cars and
26 of them on this silicone
Very
sheet.
fun.
Now we're going to have some other dazzles, but I'll bring those in as we get
use
to
them.
them.
Good
okay.
idea.
And so we're going to
Because we want
start.
to look at something
We do.
that we've made.
Yeah.
Here we go.
So here we go.
Look at that. It's exciting. It's like confetti in the background.
It is. And this is the Dazzles, as you can see, just on the pattern paper. And what are you going to do over there?
Oh, well, I'm going to show you. So here's some that we have used. We've been using them already, but I just wanted to show you in case someone is tuning in who hasn't seen us back a dazzle. It's really pretty simple to back one of these dazzles. You're going to place that right onto your patterned paper, just like so. Try to get it to lay flat there. And then I've got a pair of scissors, and I just let the scissors go around the outside of the dazzles. It sort of sits, I'm going to make it so you can see it here, it sort of sits on the edge of that dazzle. It's really simple to back these. You can also back smaller areas first and then back the overall larger area if you want to use more than one paper to back your dazzle.
So what you're finding is that the edge of the dazzle almost guides your scissors.
Right.
And it's really kind of a thing I did not expect, but it does happen nonetheless.
Okay, I'm going to stop here, but I want to show you just enough so you can see. Then once you pull it away, then you've got that back dazzle, and it's really, you can foam tape that or whatever you like.
And this one, this area was done on one color, and the wheels were each done on the orange.
And I love those copper jewel dazzles right on the centers of the wheels, etc. Yeah.
Is it okay to say pretty if it's for masculine? I think it is.
Well, the shine is pretty.
Now this is using the design tool, I believe number 3. as these backing pieces. That's what it looks like to me.
Okay.
And just makes...
Check your, you know what? Check your gallery for that, because I think it might be a different one.
I take it back. It's
That's
number
all right.
7. Same idea. Lots of images on these plastic pieces that are put together with a chain.
Right. Hey, 3 is super useful too. We use it all the time.
So there you go, to make those labels to really hold those Dazzles.
Right. And I love the inking on the edges here. It helps it to stand out. It makes it look like it's foam taped when there's no foam tape used on this card.
That's all flat. And I do like these Dazzles in the corners. I think that just picks up a really nice. So again, these are silver with gold foiling on the edge. And then on the inside, go, see, do, discover. That's really nice. Fun. This could also be a graduation card that's coming up.
Oh, that's a good idea.
That would be fun.
That's great. I love that behind the Dazzles here, I think the paper has been inked a little bit over on this one, just so it would pop just a little bit.
Yeah, nice.
Fun.
So there you go. Okay.
I love the oranges against those grays. That's such a nice combination.
Okay, scrapbookers, we're ready for you.
Okay.
Here is what we have. Let me scoot these out of the way.
This is a great page.
This is the first page I showed you. Now this has been turned so that that is at the top of the page.
Right.
And boy, we've got all kinds of things happening here.
There's really a story. This is what's fun about these papers and these Dazzles. There's a story going on here. This is a double page spread, which is actually the story of this woman who is Sarah Nausiger, I guess, who's going on a trip from one coast to the other coast in America. And so as she's going along, the Dazzles really help to tell the stories. Adventure away, let's go, fun times. They can be used right on the photo.
I like that.
I love that. So there she is going away on her bike, and they're just adding to everything that is on this page. That's what's fun about that, really.
Tour.
More
that's
Dazzles.
Nice.
Isn't
I like
that
fun?
So from one page to the next page, more Dazzles. You can back them with paper.
Let's back up so we can see the whole page, or the whole double page spread.
Right.
Okay, so
it's an amazing trip and some great Dazzles that go along with that.
It is. So I love that. Isn't that fun? Just going right along.
Right turn.
And so she started out in
Newport News, Virginia,
and ended up in Oregon.
Oregon.
There's a very happy woman, as you can tell.
There she is, best day ever.
She hit
getting the Pacific Coast. Yeah.
And I do like that. And fun to have the bicycle. Works
I know.
Really, really well.
Great. Sometimes it's kind of fun to outline. So these Dazzles were actually outlined with a pen, so it makes it look like it's been matted in black.
Yes,
I thought
and
that
that's
was kind of a neat look.
Easy way to do it, isn't it? So, and I think this is fun. Hopes and dreams, those certainly were part of her adventure.
Right.
So really great. So not only are the products fun to use, but you've got a couple of ideas here of doing your scrapbooking. We'll have more pages later.
Okay.
We're going to go into our paper toll now. And here's the one of the designs where you get that layered of a cityscape, and I can feel these layers. Greetings down here, that's all part of the paper toll.
Right.
We simply added some blocks of the Evanstown papers and a border of the Dazzles. Really easy to do.
Easy to do, easy to layer those, easy to pop those out. So I wanted to show you in particular, it's so easy to pop out these pieces. They come out of the paper toll just like that. So we went with the green dots, and this was number 1. And then the
second that would be glued down to your project?
That would be glued down to your project. And then you just pop out number 2, just like so. And you put foam tape on the back of these, which I actually already did. I'm not going to remove but you'll see that when you set it on there, then that sets up a little bit.
And you start getting some depth.
Right.
So then you have these areas over the wheels.
Over the wheels that are popping out. Then you've got number 3, number 4, number 5. So you just follow along, foam tape them in place, and they just create these little fun images with that paper toll.
Fun with that scooter, fun with this cityscape. On the inside, more of the Dazzles using those arrows beautifully, and then a happy birthday, and that comes from the birthday greetings stamp set. So that works nicely. You can see how fun these colors are to work together.
I love those blocks. Those blocks are great. Okay,
yes,
scrapbooking.
More, and I We've been talking about masculine. I think it's funny that the very first scrapbook pages we showed were feminine.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, it's very neat. A boy and his dog. Again, best day ever. And look at those photos. Aren't those just
Isn't
real
that
charmers?
Absolutely perfect. And it's a nice pop with that black cardstock too. So that really helps to makes that photo really show up. That's why we matte all of our photos.
Yeah.
Really, it makes such a difference. I love the twine wrapped around that photo, that really cute dog photo, and the little arrows pointing to important pictures.
Right. Don't miss that. And then there is another of the paper tool, this camera. The camera's so useful as an icon on anything.
It is.
Fun times.
And some more, the Dazzles placed right on top of the paper tool, which is a great idea.
And I like letting those letters be kitty wampus. It just is kind of fun. It looks playful, as with Jack and his new puppy Finn. So
and
really
those are
sweet.
journaled right onto patterned paper, so that really just ties into the other papers.
It's got those
on
lines
the page.
behind it. Okay.
All right.
Now we did talk about the stamp set. Whoops, it's called For the Guys. And here is, I think, a brilliant way to use it. This is using the heat-resistant acetate as the card front. So
a little bit of stamping and embossing on the card front.
And adding some of the ribbons. I think it's very clever to have that metallic ribbon there, and then the ribbon
Dazzles
on it.
There are some additional thin lines Dazzles that have been added here, and on the
silver jewel Dazzles,
now,
as you can see.
You talked about cutting apart some of those papers with the little chevrons, and there you can see it right there.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Doesn't
so a little
that
strip just for that,
very fun.
for the little sign there. I want to show you a little bit about how Susan put this card together.
Okay.
She started off with the border paper with this piece up at the top. She's got that artwork going across the top of a piece of white cardstock. It's cut 5 by 6.5 inches, and she wanted to make it look like a roadway sort of coming at you. She does give measurements in the gallery, and I've marked them here, 2 of those measurements. I can't remember what it is, but you look at the gallery, it tells you start at this high, this far from the bottom edge, and then this far from the bottom edge. You take that yellow chevron paper and you place it from there to there. Now that gives you that first angle. You want to glue that in place. Once that's glued in place, you will turn it over and just cut it along the edge of your card, right there. So once you've done that, then your next piece, she gives another measurement. Your next piece will tell you where to lay this one. So then you'll get that look of sort of coming at you, the road is widening here. And that's how you're going to get the road work there. Also, the front piece, which is acetate, has been cut to fit the card, but it also has another 1/2 inch that has been folded back. So score and fold that back, and you can just attach that to the back of your card, just like that.
Use the Ultra Tape to do that.
I would do your stamping and embossing before you put it on here. Get that all ready to go. But you'll be able to look through it once you have that stamping on there and know where you're going to stamp on the outside.
Then you can line up your car, let it go right along the edge of your roadway, and position. So that's been onto the acetate. There are a couple of gears that are positioned over the artwork, as you can see, the center one there and right here. So that's on the acetate along with the bow that has been zotted. On the inside, as you said, we've got that little strip of paper with the road sign. And Happy Father's Day down here. It could easily be...
Which is part of the stamp set, so it could be something else, right?
Yes, could be any of the other things.
To a classic.
So just works well. And I do love the Jewel Dazzles as headlights. I think that's perfect.
Great idea.
As well as them going right along the circles that are in the artwork.
So there are some natural places for Jewel Dazzles on there. It makes it extra fun.
Pretty neato. Now, if you want to go little, here is another way you can. fun, and because it has father, husband, brother, and grandpa, you can certainly personalize your stamp. We've got one of the smaller cars. Enjoy the Ride is there
That's
too.
Fun. And that's just been colored in, I believe, with watercolor pencils, just a little bit of pen work on top there.
And this map is the stamp from the stamp set.
That's right. So stamp onto pattern paper with that little map piece.
And you can repeat this image. I'll see if we have a project using that. Now, a second one is a little bit larger. We're back to our full-size card. Look at this. Okay,
I
things
see that.
Going on.
When I see that, I think vroom.
Yeah, vroom.
That's what it looks like. Trying to figure out what car that was.
Is part of the stamp set. We've got the wrenches. We've got the gears.
This is
now,
fun.
There's the map.
The map,
top
so
and
just
bottom.
on the on the top and bottom of those
a roadway.
pieces, it is. But what's really exciting behind this card is sort of what's going on behind it. I think it sort of makes it look like it's taking off.
Absolutely does. Now, speaking of behind it, before we move, so you're going to show that.
Yes.
Here is the crocodile paper. It's an 8.5 by 11, and doesn't that just look good? And it's combined with the red suede.
Right.
So that's what you're
So
seeing in the
pop
matting.
of red on there. You don't see. You notice you don't really have to. On this card, you don't have to color in the car or the stamps because you've got all this color behind it. And that comes, oh, look at that.
Thanks for being so wonderful again with the stamp. Okay, now you can go to color burst.
Okay, because of the color burst. So there are at least 2, if not 3 colors used on this. I'm only remembering 2 at the moment, so that's what the gallery is for.
I think there's green in it too.
Okay.
Even though you made the card, huh?
It's been a while since I made that. Alizarin crimson and yellow ochre was used. And this is just a fun product. I'm going to show you a fun way to use it, and super simple. Now, I'm going to bring that card in for just a moment again to show you, okay, the white piece is smaller. And I've got this very much larger piece of white cardstock here, you'll see. And that's because it's easier to make the image with a color burst and then figure out which part of that paper you want to use.
Right.
All right, so I started with the cardstock. You make sure you have craft sheet behind you, and I used more yellow than I did of the alizarin crimson. And I started like up in this corner, and I just turn it over and I sort of dot it. You can squeeze it a little bit. You're going to get little poofs. You want yellow on there, and then I'm going to get just a little bit of the red. You don't want to overpower it.
I'd really just tap it.
Okay.
Tap the side of the container.
Well, I've got the bottom of it, tapping with my finger, that works too, and I just get a little bit. We don't want too much red because it will overpower it pretty quickly, and you're looking at it going, woman, what are you talking about? I don't see anything but powder there. So I've got my spritzer, my water spritzer, and here's where we go, color burst. And it just makes it burst like so.
Oh,
the more water you get
there's
on
green
there,
in there already.
yeah,
Maybe you
it's
just
sort
did
of.
too.
I think so. I think it was just the 2 colors. Now that I look at it, a little bit of that. Now see how it just sort of spreads. You can. The water will make the paper buckle, the cardstock buckle. You can pick it up and sort of move it around a little bit. Then you're going to let it dry.
When it dries, it will go flat again.
It will go flat again, and mostly, and here it is, dry, pretty much dry. Another one I did, you also see that every one that you make is going to be a little bit different. But now when you look at it, now you're going, okay, now I've got this to work with, and maybe I'm only going to use this piece over here. So when you get your stamp, you're going to get ready to stamp, and you can stamp right on top of that color bursted image that was just created. I need to make sure that's nice and inky, nice and black, so that it will, and then you just place that over there and say, where do I want the car sort of coming out of? Probably right about there.
It does look varoomy.
It does. So there you go. Isn't that interesting? Isn't that fun?
It is very fun.
Then I would cut the piece, and then I would stamp on the top and bottom those map areas.
There you go. And then that extra area that you've got, that can go up here. You can turn it the other way and do for a classic husband.
And you can use parts on the inside as well.
Thanks for being so wonderful. Just really, really nice. I think the twine does a beautiful job of supporting that also. Now, we also have, as I said, some other masculine dazzles. So in our car theme, we have chrome classics. And chrome classics are very, very fun. You can see that there's cars, there's words.
There are borders, or
And
a border.
of course the dice.
I
You know,
love
the
the
fuzzy dice are important. So have a swell day doing the 8 circles in scallops to give us a circle. I think that's a really nice way
It is.
to go behind
and
the
that's
card.
and that's done on the background. First of all, the card dazzle was placed on white cardstock, and then it was cut out around the edges, and then it was set on top of that round cut piece. Plus, it was colored in with Spectrum Noir pens. Isn't that nice? There are some nice highlights in there.
And this border is all black, black and silver for you, and just placing it on white cardstock.
So you've got that going all the way across the card there, which is great.
Fuzzy dice are hanging from that piece.
But I love the addition of those banners there. That just makes a nice little offset to that centerpiece.
Have a swell day. I think that's really
It
cute.
is
I
fun.
don't think there's anything on the inside, but
Okay, and there is, I do like these pieces down at the bottom, 3 little diamonds. It's a very kind of a retro look. Makes me think of that era of that car.
And we have another card. Now this was placed on the red ripple holographic. Look at that come to life.
Isn't that amazing?
Isn't that just fun? And there are some silver stickles that has been squeezed on the bumper and the headlights.
Bumpers, but make sure that you make white walls on those tires. You've got white behind there, so that's a nice
Very
look, too.
important point. And this, of course, is on the Evanstown paper, so you can see how that supports it beautifully.
That's just really fun.
The Have a Swell Day is also used on this one with the red ripple behind it. And this card isn't finished on the inside, so I'm not going to bother opening it. Now, we have, in addition to the Chrome Classics, we have Lumberjack. Now, it's not just because we're in Oregon, but it's a perfect one for this time of year. And look at this. Here it is. This is not on Evanstown paper, but you can see the, well, of course, the beard and the mustache, as well as the shoes and the axe and the wood.
So this is great. What I love about this is that you can take smaller, different elements from Dazzles, and you can showcase them each on these little squares like that. 2 of them have been glued in place. 2 of them have been foam taped. So you've got a nice little offset stepping of those.
And that adventure on the saw just does a really nice job. Now we have this one, and just a simple little bow down there. And we also have this one, so we're using the adventure at the top and doing kind of a collage with those Dazzles. And you can see that added the tree, which is just a really nice. These are. This is the finish that we did the bunnies in earlier this year.
Chocolate finish.
It is. It's just really, really nice. Very shiny.
Fun.
Quite
Easy to make
lovely.
a fun card with that. I love the green jute twine there with that. So very simple to make. And those papers.
And the papers are from the Card Maker's Earth's Palette. Now we're on the last few hundred of these, so just want to tell you there are 36 sheets in here.
Got some jewel tones in there as well.
And we've got some glimmer paper, and so just a ton of them. They're all single-sided, and you can see the color way that it encompasses.
Right, there's a nice variety of color in there, but all a little bit darker. There are some lighter pieces.
In addition, there are cutouts of tags and borders, file folders, and there's also parchment in this one, as well as vellum, as well as glassine envelopes. So it's a really wonderful collection.
Nice mix.
Again, we're just down to the last.
And that was used with that card?
It was.
The last
absolutely
100 or so?
Yep.
Okay.
It was. So masculine, we've got you covered.
We've got cars, we've got cameras, we've got travel variety, and it's mostly about the Evanstown collection.
Evanstown and for the guys.
Yay.
There we go.